Alrighty, gang. This is kind of a weird angle, so I apologize if I'm not in focus for maybe the entire video. That would really suck, but I'm gonna hope that's not the case. Happy Wednesday, guys. I'm about to cook some freaking beef. I fed the cat, did the dishes, and now it's time to cook some freaking lunch for today tomorrow and the next day. And that is gonna look like some ground beef with some, I don't know why I'm talking louder as I get away from the camera because I have a microphone on. It's gonna look like some ground beef, some sweet potato, and some sugar-free barbecue sauce. It's super easy, super tasty. All of my coworkers always say, hey, that smells good whenever I heat it up in the microwave. So if you guys are ever looking for a little, even if you aren't going into an office or anything, just looking for a little solid lunch, lean ground beef, handful of sweet potato. I use sweet potato freaking tater tots because it's even easier. I use this little air fried brand. And then some sugar-free barbecue sauce. It's called Ray's. It's from the Sweet Baby Ray's. I can't say that and not think of the freaking Mark Zuckerberg video where he's like, Sweet Baby Ray's. Some sugar-free Sweet Baby Ray's, and then boom. That is it. I do 6 ounces of beef. 15 pieces, or 15 of the tater tots. It's about almost 2/3 cup. And then 32 grams or milliliters, which is just one serving of sugar-free barbecue sauce, and boom, that's it. I had to swing by Safeway on my way home from work too, which, man, I'm not sure if any of you guys can relate to this one. I'm sure some of you can, because this is just a super regular thing, but sometimes having to go to the store right after work just freaking sucks. Today it wasn't that bad though. I only needed the ground beef, and then I also picked up another water jug and some turkey pepperoni for my dinner. Of course, I'm not going to be just eating turkey pepperoni, but I've talked about the pizza sub many times on here. I got a pretty good video, or at least a concept of a chat that I want to have, because I think it's important, and it's something. I feel like these videos are sometimes, I would say in the very beginning of posting them and everything, but they're sort of just my internal monologues, and if anything, I'm releasing them sort of for accountability for myself, and so that I practice what I preach, It would be kind of lame if I was make sure you eat your ground beef and do cardio and have a hobby and read books, and then did none of that. That would be super lame. So a lot of these are just things that I already do, or am kind of making the promise out loud to myself that I will start doing them. Or even just acknowledging hey, this is good for me. I should probably start doing this out loud. I feel like that's a big step. It's easy to lie to yourself, which kind of leads perfectly into what I want to talk about today, which is if you don't break out of your comfort zone, your life is going to pass you by 1,000%, which kind of sounds sucky, and I feel like it sounds naggy in a way, break out of your comfort zone, you gotta be uncomfortable, you gotta wake up at 6 a.m., blah, blah, blah. That's not what I mean. It's the opposite of what I mean. Well, I guess maybe not the complete opposite. I think that physically, there are definite advantages to stepping outside of your comfort zone, especially with training and all that kind of stuff. But I more so just mean with your life in general. I mentioned in a couple of videos ago it was the one where it's the importance of thugging it out, where the days where it's just one thing after the other and you just have to keep trudging through a bunch of BS to get through the end of the day. Those are the days where I think your life is genuinely progressing forward. There are things that you are doing or things outside of your control that are being done that take you to where you want to be in your life. Even if it's something as stupid as going to Pet Food Express so you can get more cat food. At the end of the day, taking care of those things when you need to, I think, is kind of training your brain to be okay, well, I got to do some BS. Who cares? I'm going to do it. But it also pushes your life forward. I guess I kind of more so for this specific talk or after work chat, I think I just mean like breaking out of the mold essentially that you've created for yourself. And so I think back, when I think of comfort zone, I think back to 3 years ago. No, I was trying to, yeah, I would say this was like 4 years ago. Man, it's crazy how long it's been already. Time flies when you're not freaking stressed out all the time, dude. But about 3 or 4 years ago, I moved out for the first time. I was 21 years old. Just got a new job. You know, I've talked about all the kind of origin story and my struggles and all that kind of stuff. Or not maybe struggles, but just obstacles and stuff that, you know, one has to go through in order to do life. Kind of just brain farted me, low key. Oh, and I feel like I was in a very comfortable state, but at the same time, I was not happy. I was not happy with how I looked, how much money I was making, the relationship I was in, the person that I lived with. Oh my God, I could probably freaking go on for years. And I'm not at all trying to cast blame onto those other things. This is all coming from, like, I was the source of the unhappiness. Your unhappiness typically comes from within. I mean, unless you're like getting swirlies at school or something, that's a pretty direct, you know, outside interference. But no, dude, I was getting swirlied by freaking life. And I kind of fell into this rut where I would just like come home, turn on like the Xbox, DoorDash. Dude, there was a time where I DoorDashed probably like for a year straight, 365 days straight. If I didn't DoorDash, it was weird. Like that, oh gosh, like looking back, it's like almost freaking PTSD inducing, man. The way I was just like destroying myself, I feel like. But during that time, I was like, I'm doing everything I need to do. I'm just going to protect my peace, blah, 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 blah. You know, this is what I have to do to stay happy. That's a load of BS. And I was 100% just trying to stay in my comfortable little box of not having to really go out and socialize, not having to deal with my roommate, not having to worry about looking at a scale or fitness or the mirror, all kind of like, man, it was a rough freaking time. And now, a few years later, it's like total opposite. I work out twice a day. I count my calories, track the whole, I mean, that's stuff that I've done since I was like 18. But when I first moved out, I stopped completely. Like, I was not myself for probably, that was my cat's food timer. I was not myself for probably a solid 2.5 years. And it was rough. So, my advice to you is to break out of that freaking comfort zone, baby. For me, that looked like, so there was this little trail, like this little hill. I live in the, next to the San Francisco Bay Area, there's this place called the Tri-Valley. It's just a big bunch of valleys. I lived right next to this like kind of valley trail where I could just pretty much hike like straight up for about 3/4 mile and then have like this 1.5 mile downward trail walk. I just started doing that every day. I would get home from work. I would maybe do like clean up a dish or whatever. I would still DoorDash or anything, you know, like it's baby steps at a time. You can't wake up a completely different person, but you can make small tweaks each and every day so that, hey, 30 days from now, maybe even like 14 days from now, you are a completely different person. So that was my thing. I just started doing these little hikes. And then eventually the hikes turned into jogs. And then the jogs turned into runs. And then I was like, man, I would love to go back into like a parkour gym. Because that was something I did when I was 17. And I loved it. It was so much fun. Sounds dorky, I know. It's a parkour gym. I can't really stand up for it in that aspect. At the same time, actually seeing it is like one of the most badass things ever. Parkour is so sick. I mean, of course, as like a man who grew up with 2012 peak Assassin's Creed in real life YouTube. I'm a little biased, but I think it was pretty cool. And so then I ended up doing some research. I found a parkour gym that was near me. They had classes. I signed myself up for a trial class. And then I started doing that for a few months. And that was huge because of the team aspect. I didn't really have, like, I had coworkers and stuff, but like I said, like, I wasn't super happy with my relationship. My roommate and I were pretty much fighting like every single day. That I was not in a relate. That was like a total separate person. It was an old coworker. Oh God, dear Jesus Christ! Make sure you always interview your roommates before you go into any kind of thing like that. But that is a completely different conversation. And the team aspect of parkour, it kind of gave me a place outside of like my mom and dad, where I could be honest with people, but also just be myself and get sweaty and high five each other. And it was every age, every like gender. It was awesome. I mean, there was people who were there in their mid 60s and then kids that were there who were like 10. And they would split the class up. So there'd be like the beginners and then the advanced section. And after some time, I made it into the advanced section. It's no big deal. Honestly, no, parkour was really fun. When I was going consistently, I was getting pretty freaking solid. Oh crap, I gotta start the air fryer for the frickin' potatoes, no! But that is just a bit of my story. And I'm still doing stuff to try to break out of my comfort zone every single day. I think that I am kind of in a space where when I get home, I'm content with my little grind and routine and schedule and stuff, to where I don't feel like I need to essentially push the envelope or anything anymore than I am. This video stuff, I guess, sort of is my intro to, well, not intro, I've been doing video stuff for a long time, but a next step of out of my comfort zone. I've never really done like commentary style videos. It's always been skits or that kind of stuff. So yeah, break out of your guys' comfort zone. You will be so surprised what you can achieve, and I am speaking from experience. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your butt. I'm not some online influencer. I am just a guy who works a 9 to 5. I'm 25. I've been living on my own for the last almost 4 years. And this is what I've learned. So please, if you take anything away from this video, aside from just a little story from me, let it be that life happens outside of your little bubble that you've created for yourself. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 sweet potato tots, just like I said. Life happens outside of your little box. And then, like, again, like I was saying in the beginning, I'm not trying to say, like, oh, you got to start waking up at 6 a.m. and you got to go on a run, and then you, like, no. Some of that stuff is good. Like, I definitely think that everybody should have at least some form of physical activity in their day, and consistently, or even if it's just going on a walk or a 10-minute skipping rope session or anything. But just the minor changes. And, like, when it comes to the comfort zone and trying to justify, like, okay, well, I'm happy. That's fine. If you're happy. You know what? If you're happy, you're happy. I don't even care. If you're happy with where your life's at, that is totally cool. But if you are looking to break out of your comfort zone, I mean, this is the analogy, or okay, put the mindset of living in your comfort zone to any other aspect, like anything, and it won't make sense. And I would say that aspect is like doing the same thing every day and expecting a different result. That could be like, oh man, I've been stuck on this Elden Ring level for a year and I still haven't beat it. You're probably doing something wrong. Oh man, I've been trying to lose weight for a year and I still haven't lost a single pound. You probably need to change something. Oh man, like you can put the comfort zone mindset into any facet of your life, any hobby, and it doesn't make sense. So why would you live your life like that? I'm honestly like talking to myself. This is like me screaming at my younger self mostly. I am rooting for you guys above all. I'm rooting for myself. I'm rooting for you guys. I think everybody has the power within them to make their life what they want to be. So that wasn't going to be the end of the quote or anything. Right, that would have been kind of funny if I just stopped talking in the middle of that. Grab my barbecue sauce. Do not let your life pass you by. Step outside of your comfort. I mean, dude, that could even be like reading a book. That was like something else that I did a couple of years ago. I started reading again. And I started with Percy Jackson. Like, in it, I feel like, and this is kind of an idea that I might go into more in depth with a different video, and it sort of has to do with making friends and all that kind of stuff, like when you're in your 20s or just an adult in general. But living in your comfort zone, I feel like is almost putting up this shield in a way to protect yourself from the opinions of others. And you just gotta stop living like that, dude. First of all, like, you're only gonna, like, okay, yeah, you know what? Someone might call you a dork. And at the end of the day, that's probably because they have nothing going on in their life. They are probably the NPC. That's not how I don't want to, like, juxtapose positive things with negative things like that, but if that's the mindset shift that'll help you, then that's what'll help you. But don't be afraid to be yourself, guys. I think you'll only attract other people that are in those same things. Cosplay, cyberpunk, parkour. Maybe you're into knitting or craftsmanship or blacksmithing. Anything. Stardew Valley. Be open about what you like. You'll attract like-minded people. Maybe not even people, but just that energy. I think that energy always comes back to you. When you put yourself out there like that, like the opportunities that you start to see for yourself, whether it be like your job or maybe just new responsibilities, like with your parents or something like that, or a greater level of trust in your relationships. I think breaking down that shield and being yourself, which of course, I mean, I still try to walk around my work office and be dark and mysterious sometimes. Look, I'm not a perfect person, but I think the more that you can just embrace the stuff that you're into and step outside of your comfort zone, stop trying to live in your comfort zone and put up this little shield for yourself, dude, your life's gonna be freaking kick ass. Not to drop a little curse word on, excuse my language, but I think it's necessary here to show how freaking much I mean it. I'm gonna hit this ground beef with some of this barbecue seasoning, followed by some onion powder and some garlic powder. 3 things, and then boom, ground beef is done. And then you can just scoop it out of the bowl when it's lunchtime. That's how easy this freaking stuff is. My coworker, no joke, it happens probably at 3 to 4 times a week. Someone's like, "Oh, what do you have today?" And my answer every time, "It's my beef bowl." "Oh yeah, it's my beef bowl." "Oh yeah, it's just some ground beef with some sweet potato and barbecue sauce." "Oh wow, that smells good." "Oh wow, look at you being healthy." "Oh, guys, it's 3 ingredients. It's not that hard. You can totally. Man, I think I just feel fired up today. It was a pretty good Wednesday. I hope you guys can all say the same. This ground beef looks just about ready. I get a lean cut just because it's lower calorie. If you're not tracking your calories or don't have like specific nutritional goals for that kind of thing, then the the fattier cuts, like when you see 85% or 85-15, that kind of thing at the store, those typically taste better. They're a bit more fatty, a bit higher calorie, but the fat is where all the flavor comes from. So this is a 96% lean ground beef. Still some oil and stuff that burns off, so I cook it like in a big ring shape, like a big beef ring. And that allows all the juices and water and stuff that gets sealed in with the meat to just kind of burn off in the center of the pan. Bada bing, bada boom, ground beef. I really hope I've been in focus this whole time, guys. I feel like this has been an awesome conversation. It would totally suck if I was not in focus, but I got the gym at 7:30. Today is chest day. I am freaking hyped. It's gonna be sick. Tomorrow I have back. And yeah, I hit my 45 minutes of cardio on the bike plus abs on my lunch break today. So when I bulk, and I wouldn't even say I've done a super serious bulk. I mean, like I think really since I've started lifting when I was like almost 18, it's kind of just been like in a main gain phase the entire time. I've never really had like a very nasty bulk. I've sort of just gotten fat again. So I will say when I'm eating in a higher caloric amount, my cardio is typically around 30 minutes, just like once a day, 30 minutes on the bike, a bit more chill. And then when I start to cut, I up it to 40 minutes, sometimes multiple times a day. Of course, like multiple hours in between sessions and stuff. And then now as I'm kind of rearing this final leg, I would say maybe like 4 weeks of this cut. I'd say I'm gonna go to maybe like the end of March, beginning of April. My birthday is April 7th, so I kind of want to cut loose for my birthday. It's 45 minutes on the bike, so. And I also just got this really cool jacket that I wanted to show you guys because my last couple of videos have been cyberpunk related, so I wanted to show you this freaking sick. This is one of the reasons why I'm so like excited right now is because this just came in today. Look at this freaking jacket, bro. If you guys are an Edgerunners nerd like me, this fire is out of control. This fire is out of control. Nah, dude. I'm so hyped. I'm so freaking. I'm gonna make tons of videos with this. And on it, okay, this will be my last thing with the video, and just kind of wrapping up that. The reason I got that jacket, again, stepping out of your comfort zone a little bit, doing the social media stuff. I was sent that by Insert Coin Clothing. Again, I'm not an affiliate or anything. I'm not going to push you with any type of code, nothing like that. I just reached out and I was like, hey, I make content. I really love cyberpunk. You guys have some awesome clothes. Want to collab? They hit me back up. Look what friggin' came in the mail today. It's freaking so sick. It's super cool. So step out of your comfort zone. You don't know what opportunities are lying just outside of it. I don't think I'll do any foam building today. I will show you my progress last night though. I was low-key getting a rage baited by like myself, I guess. But I have the sort of first spinal notch. Let's see if I can focus this. My glue job is horrible. My welding job is horrible. But this is the kind of shape, the overall shape that is going to be for the back plates. And this is going to have like a pair of kind of wings coming off on the sides here. This will all be silver, of course, and then using foam clay and a Dremel, all of these seams will all be totally smoothed out, but I have another one that's not assembled yet, so I might go through and finish these today. But I also told my day one homie that I would play some Minecraft with him, so I might not do that. I might just kind of put this video together and do some short form, real type stuff with the jacket and whatnot, and then go from there. But I hope you guys have an awesome Wednesday. Thank you for hanging out with me. And thanks for your comments too. I've been getting a lot of just good feedback and people saying that they enjoy the kind of long style, minimalist editing and stuff. So thank you very much. I love just talking with you guys. This is honestly something that I've been wanting to do for a long time because I feel like I've had a story that I've really wanted to share with people for a long time. So thanks for listening. I'm gonna pack my freaking lunch. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Thursday. Goodbye.